Well, after discussing on the paradigms of environmental human relations, we have discussed the three different forms of paradigms, namely Orientalism, paternalism, and communalism. Now, moving on in this lecture, we would be looking at the relationship, if not the different ontological ideas or the ontology of how nature, culture, magic and science are in a way being understood in the domain of anthropology, and which I would call as the sort of epistemological treat in anthropology. And in this we would be primarily dealing with some of the works of Witting, who is a social anthropologist who is based in the University of Bergen, and his works are primarily on the environmental knowledge, and also which are pretty much related with the areas in the Solomon Islands. Now, in the course of this discussion, I would be citing on the two primary communities or case studies of Evans Pritchard's study of witchcraft among the Azandes, and also among the fishing community, or if not among the Solomon Islands. Now, for quite some time, this notion of epistemology is guided by the understanding of this Western science, and as we had discussed in the last lecture, how anthropology in a way was seen to be pretty much an offspring of Western colonialism. Now, here it would be interesting to look at how this knowledge in a way, the epistemology of the one on the Western science and on the other hand on the native or the local communities, tends to evolve, and also how this dualism of nature culture, which happens to be pretty much demarcated, is also in a way operationalized among the native societies, but in a different way. And by saying so, it doesn't mean that the native societies don't engage in the idea of wild vis-a-vis tame, but the notion of engagement in that wild and tame, or their perception and interpretation, or the way it is being applied, is different from what we normally see from the European Western notion of understanding. Now, also we would also differentiate between what is the emic and etic perspective or notion of interpreting things, as we had also discussed in the last lecture of how translation, textual translation or translation in general is important, because that's how things operate in we trying to make an understanding of a particular cultural group. Now, let me just to have a brief idea or background of this discussion, I would like to quote from some of the works of Levi-Strauss, wherein he says that the relationship which normally exists between people and their environment, particularly that is which is the often presumed universal conceptual dualism of nature and culture. Now, this sort of universalizing or the universal understanding or universal culture in general, for quite some time has been pretty much the obsession of many anthropologists, and particularly we tend to judge or evaluate others' culture from our understanding, that is how it is being guided by the Eurocentric ideas in a way. Now, therefore, it is important to look at the different trends and nuances which involve in the epistemological privileges in the domain or in the discipline of anthropology. Now, this nature culture dualism, if you look at from the Western ethno-epistemology, which I may use, in a way derived from a non-universal ontological basis. Now, when we talk about ontology, it is also mostly to do with how we deal with the nature of being, and or maybe trying to see things from its own natural laws. Now, therefore, if we try to incorporate the concepts such as magic and science, in a way, if one tries to investigate such concepts with reference to dualist uses in the anthropological discourse and to wider philosophical debates. Now, therefore, the kind of language which is being used denotes differently to different culture groups, and also how we make sense of the environment is not necessarily based on a preconceived or assumption or presumption rather, because it is mostly with the knowledge which is gained through the practical engagement. Now, that is how this ontology in a way is being developed and it evolves in certain kinds of societies. Now, why is there this sort of privileging of epistemological in the discipline of anthropology? Now, we would ask a question as to whether or not these Western rationalist presuppositions can be taken as representatives of the human universals, or can we afford to sort of universalize or generalize any kind of culture or human society for that matter vis-a-vis their relations to their environment by simply engaging or dwelling upon the Western rationalist presuppositions, or whether these Western knowledge can be accorded an epistemological privilege positioned in cultural translation. Now, therefore, as we had discussed in the paradigms of more importantly Orientalism, there is this notion of Eurocentric ideas or biasness in which they tends to be guided by that preconceived notions of ideas of dominance over other. So, this predominance over other culture or other human society in a sense is to some extent blurring the boundaries, if not within the discipline of anthropology itself. Now, this sort of Cartesian dualism, if not what we had discussed, talk about the Cartesian anxiety, and in a sense other metaphysic characteristic of these Western ontological presuppositions have in a way dominated the anthropological analysis, mostly which were undertaken during the colonial period and even in the post-colonial period. Now, this dominant discourse of European culture to sort of engage in universalizing, we to some extent has also talked about the engagement or using the ideas of taxonomy, classification, categories, or in a sense trying to in a way show the dualism of nature and culture, as if nature and culture is a separate identity. So, this sort of radical stance, which in a way was part of the European culture, often in a way tries to ignore the others, that is the non-European culture ways of structuring the world. Now, therefore, it is important for us to also look at contextualize or read in context, so that these ideas of universal categories can in a way be sort of sidelines. So, in some sense that can be an alternative forms of and epistemology. Now, these presumed ideas of dualism of nature and culture, what Wagner in a sense argues that although we allow that, which I quote, although we allow that other cultures comprise sets of artifacts and images which differ in style from our own. When he say from our own, he is talking about the European culture. We tend to superimpose them on the same reality, nature as we perceive it. So, that sort of superimpositions, or if not the attitude of this dominance, or rather paternalistic sort of attitude has been evolving for quite some time when other cultures are being studied, if not also how nature is being perceived. Because as there is a stringent or boundaries which is drawn between nature and culture, and that is how this sort of dichotomy is being established between the human and the environment. The kind of relationship which is being shared is rather interpreted in a different sense. Now, therefore, there is no, from the Eurocentric stance, there is no such thing as nature or culture, and it is highly relativized concept. This again is being stated by Stratton, which of course is widely credited, if not claimed, for bringing a new trend in ecological anthropology by using this concept called cultural ecology. Now, Stratton in a way has has a different opinions and understanding or perceptions of these ideas of nature and culture. For him, this sort of dualism doesn't really exist and doesn't make sense, because what he says is both this notion, nature and culture, is highly in a way relative in nature, because it depends on how one makes sense and interpret from that particular context and situations. So, therefore, this ultimate significance must be sort of understood or derived from its place within a specific metaphysics. So, therefore, it is important to read the text in context rather than sort of engaging in the presumptions. So, this sort of stance were in a way pretty much revolving around even among the anthropologists themselves or within anthropology itself. Now, if you take some of the examples, for instance, like witchcraft, magic, and oracles. Now, witchcraft, for many of you who might not be really familiar, in a sense is a witchcraft is something which is being performed in order to cause some kind of some ills, or rather how people are in a way engaging in creating a psychic kind of act. So, witchcraft in a way is not something which is not simply a physical trait, but also something which is being inherited. Now, since it is an inherited sort of personality, these practices in a way progress as the body also progress. So, by saying so, one becomes sort of pretty robust in that sense once it evolves from different stages of life. Now, there are certain understanding about an explanation about witchcraft. Now, usually this the death which is normally being caused by this witchcraft is in a way seen to be the primary things is to avenge. So, therefore, among the Azandes, now people normally engage in sort of consulting the oracles in order to check as to whether they are being affected by this witchcraft or not. Now, and there's this sort of rituals or spells, sort of magics which are pretty much revolving around in the life of these Azandes. Now, these communities, the Zandes, are mostly inhabiting the areas called in Africa, in the southern, mostly concentrated in the southern Sudan, and they are pretty much guided by these beliefs or the existence of these mythical powers which exist amongst them, and as they believe, there's the sort of prevalence of these practices, and in a way it becomes sort of a part of their social world. So, this kind of practices is pretty much rampant among the Zandes communities. Now, if one tries to evaluate, if not looked at or the prevalence of these, maybe it's witchcraft, magic, or maybe the practice of these oracles, what Evans Pritchard make a statement is that our body of the scientific knowledge and logic are in a way sole arbiters what are mysticals, common sense, and scientific notions. And what he also further add is a context independent reality. So, in a way we might tends to presume from the using from the scientific knowledge that it is an independent reality, but then there is sort of interconnections among this, because it cannot happen or exist in isolations. Therefore, this prevalence is pretty much among the social members. Now, Pritchard further argue that judged by this criteria of this Western science, the witchcraft in a way does not really exist, and then it sometimes appears that to an ethic from an ethic perspective, it tends to be sort of a rubbish, and then it makes no sense, or rather it's nonsensical to believe in the sort of prevalence of this witchcraft. So, despite the observed and recorded facts that these Zande notions about witches and their doings display a consistent logic all on their own. So, it is interesting and rather challenging to record and look at the way in which the existence of witches and how this witchcraft in a way is being operationalized, because with the extensive field work Pritchard has looked at among the Zandes, he in a way has recorded and confirmed the existence of these practices. Now, Wittgenstein, another philosophers who mainly talks in terms of this, the use of logic and language, again tends to see these practices or the existence of this witchcraft among Zandes as something called the language game, and which in a way can be differentiated or compared with the Western science. Now, what he says is each set of notions, Zande and this Western scientific, are based on the language of games of a given community, and cannot be really be afforded to be judged merely based on an independent reality or a meta language. So, it is not really adequate to sort of engage with a universalized knowledge or understanding, and it would be in a way ridiculous to even think of generalizing this sort of understanding. Now, therefore, the Western scientific logic in a way cannot constitute a context independent truth or a sole arbiter according to which the Azande magical beliefs and practices can be judged. Now, in some sense, this rational explanation of the cause and effect, or maybe it might not be really valid enough to what extent these magical practices or how it is being effective. But to those who practices, it is pretty much a part of their social world and social life that in a way have certain kinds of implications and repercussions among those who practices. Now, way back in the 1950s mostly, the anthropological investigations are mostly based on this idea of prefixing this notion of ethno, which in a way is concerned with a kind of a cognitive approach to the native's point of view, also with regard to specific sub-branch of Western science. Now, in a way, as I use that ethno-epistemology. Now, by using this prefix notion of this ethno, you are in a way trying to see the native's point of view also by inculcating these ideas of this Western science. You tend to use the Western science to interpret or make sense of this the local knowledge of these native societies. Now, in a way, beginning from the 1950s, anthropological or anthropologists rather started using like the ethnoscience, ethnobiology, ethnomedicine, so on and so forth, depending on the kind of branches or knowledge which they want to study. By prefixing with ethno, they are in a way engaged in exploring, but this again is being translated or treated as a sub-branches of Western science. Now, this cognitive anthropological study of systems of classification, taxonomic structure are found in other cultures. Now, therefore, these classifications of plants, animals, so on and so forth have for quite some time been introduced in the field of these anthropological studies. Now, what is this EMIC-ETIC distinction in ethnoscience? If you look at ethnoscience, so in a sense it is pretty much related with the EMIC side of the EMIC-ETIC distinctions, which was originally being coined by Pike. Ethno in most cases used to be sort of a prefix names of distinguishing that Western epistemology considers to be more of an objective science based on the rigors of hypothetical deductive method. Now, in a way, by using this Western science, you are engaging in more of a deductive method, that is not the internal or the subjective part, but more evaluate or understand from the ethic, if not the objective part. So, in a way you can sort of state by looking at more of the objectivist Western notion of science. Now, this prefix of using this ethno is indeed likely to sort of indicate a field or of the native knowledge whose status is relative to a canonical counterpart within the non-ethno Western science. Now, by using this specific prefix ethno, it tends to sort of give a sense of native knowledge, and but later rather also to be seen as sort of synonymized with the Western science. Now, what then is I won't really go into deep details of every concepts which is being used with the prefix ethno, because the list goes on like ethnobiology, ethnomedicine, so on and so forth. But the one explanations on the one particular topic, that is the ethnoecology. Ethnoecology in a way has to do with the study of the indigenous knowledge of natural resources and their exploitation, which is cited from Azande, and the prefix ethno in a way thus indicates that the specific field of knowledge is that of the observed rather than the observer. So, which means you are in a way trying to interpret things from the native point of view. So, therefore, the use of this ethno in a way somehow justifies or equate the use of this what we know as the Western science. Now, we tend to see nature in terms of cultural images. Azande strongly argues by saying that we tend to see nature from an objectivized or objective notion rather than seeing in terms of the subjective, that is the cultural images, the kind of relationship which humans share with nature, if not the environment around them. How do they make sense of that? So, that sort of relationship is not being adequately or in depthly being looked at, but rather from only the ethic point of view, that is which seems to be rather external rather than internal. Now, these Western disciplines of ecology, as defined by one of its pioneers, the study of Earth's life support systems, what Odum has said, whereas ethnoecology in a sense remains tied to notions of about the natural environment. Now, when you see or looked at ecology and different from ethnoecology, you tend to sort of demarcate sort of the relationship between the notions of human and the natural environment. Now, this cultural meaning, which is pretty much embedded in the human natural relationship, is seen as something which is interacting with the laws that regulate nature. Now, because this cultural meaning can only be explained in a more empirical way only when you look at the kind of laws or with nature, that is how it operationalizes. Therefore, emphasis in a way is given to studying people cultural maps, that is their knowledge, their ideas, which evolve around in a particular environment, how they make sense, or how they sort of integrate, or the kind of relationship which they share to a natural environment, whose given attributes are again defined by a Western science. So, this sort of cultural meaning, which in a way is looking at the laws of this, how it regulates with nature, has to be sort of in a way, I won't say debunked, but then we need to sort of come out of this obsession. Now, if you look at Evans Pritchard's understanding or explanation of the practices of Azande's witchcraft from the ethno-ecological point of view, is in a way likely to sort of presuppose the existence of a context independent reality against which the rationality of indigenous ecological knowledge may be evaluated. So, therefore, the notions such as truths, which is established by, or facts which is established by Western biological and ecological science, in a sense retain this epistemological privilege. Now, therefore, one should not be obsessed or defined or directed by this Western science when one evaluate any form of knowledge, may it be the Azande witchcraft or something else, because it has to be sort of seen in the perspective of its independent reality, but not guided by certain kinds of prefix, if not presumption. Now, moving on. Now, we need to proceed from this ontological constructs, that is, in which this dualism of nature and culture dominates, because this is what normally is being seen, and the ideas which is conceived by many Western anthropologists, or maybe the environmental orientalist in a sense. This conventional study of ethno-ecology in a way tends to imply that a subjective grid of culture is imposed upon the objective reality of nature. So, this sort of imposition of this objective reality, or the kind of ontological ontology of this nature, has to be sort of understood, so that how we move on from this ontological constructs of, that is, the existence of this dualism of nature and culture in a way is in a way dominating the disciplines of this anthropology. Now, if you see from the perspective of methods, like for instance, which in a way talks about the validity and then the applicability, and also how in a way is being proven. Methodologically speaking, these approaches, that is in a way generates much information on taxonomic representation, that is the classifications of plants and animals, but less on the environmental processes and also the relations as perceived by the people in questions. The subject which we normally study in a way is being missed out. So, when you sort of your focus is more on the taxonomic representations, you tend to ignore or maybe turn a deaf ear to sort of the way things which is being structured around, that is the environmental process and relations, because you tend to miss out. So, in a way you can say that you miss the trees for the woods. So, therefore, if one is guided by investigating or looking only at particular things, you tend to miss out the whole structure and then the kind of relations which exist in these environmental processes. Now, therefore, one cannot afford to single out a particular epistemology of the native people, because those knowledge again is interrelated. Now, therefore, it should not be seen from the perspective of just only a predator and a prey, but rather it should be seen from the point of how an individual tries to make sense or tries to look at the interrelations which exist among the communities where one tends to study. Now, since those processes in a way being judged or understood from a priori by the anthropologists by looking at the using the gaze of this Western scientific knowledge about the reality of nature, they tend to miss out certain important indicators, as I pointed out, the environmental process and relations, which is more to be seen from the holistic approaches. Now, if one is being again obsessed and guided by this Western scientific knowledge about reality of nature, because that sort of relations which is shared between the human and environmental relations is again missed out. Now, thus the studies which normally is about the ecological knowledge of many indigenous societies normally emphasizes on the taxonomic, if not the categories and criteria for classification, again do not correspond to those of Western science, because it is sometimes difficult to categorize and classify this indigenous ecological knowledge, because oftentimes it cannot be documented, and one cannot really explain, as in the case of the formal knowledge of Western science, as A is the cause of B or vice versa, or maybe rather from the indigenous ecological knowledge, it is more to be seen in terms of A is seen to be in relation to B and vice versa. Remember, we had talked about these ideas of this protection and reciprocity when we talk about the human environmental relations, mostly which is operationalized among the hunting and gathering societies. So, therefore, there is no scope, or one cannot really afford to clearly distinguish between nature and culture, or rather the existence of this dualism and in nature and culture is something which we cannot afford to explain in the context of the indigenous communities. So, therefore, it does not really correspond to those of the Western science, and that these indigenous perceptions of ecological linkages are not consistent with Western postulates of causality. So, as I said, one cannot afford to be engaged on this causal explanation of these knowledges, unlike the Western science. Now, therefore, Berlind, who is the founder of this ethnobiology, has argued that this widespread regularities in terms of this classification and naming of animals and plants among these the aboriginals or these native societies reflect similarities in people's largely unconscious appreciation of nature's basic plant. Now, therefore, as I had also talked about the prevalence of this totem, wherein a plant, animal, or so and so are in a way being named or classified wherein it also represents the symbols of that particular community, and therefore it is seen as sacred. So, this sort of a particular animal used as a totem of the community again cannot be be sort of seen from the Western postulates on causality, or one cannot really engage in classification and naming, unlike what the biologist and so on and so forth does. Now, this sort of looking at these plants mostly, that is the taxonomy of what normally the ecologists and the biologists are engaged into. Therefore, among these non-literate societies, this naming and classification in a way reflects certain kinds of largely the unconscious appreciation of nature's basic plants among the people who are alien, if not outside that particular society. Now, therefore, why do we talk about privileging of epistemology in anthropology? Because this privileging of these natural laws or phenomena and domains that are not in nature, that is according to science or this Western ontology, may well be sort of precluded from having a real explanatory value in the analysis of these cultural ecological relations. Now, therefore, the sort of rational explanation might not be possible in terms of how it is being operationalized among the indigenous ecological knowledge as it is in practice in terms of the Western ontology. Now, thus this sort of the practice of this taxonomy, categories, naming, classifications and whatnot, the chains of these implications and causal linkages as perceived locally may be sometime or oftentimes misrepresented by the anthropological observer, which sometimes also lead to inadequate levels of contextualizations. So, therefore, even when the anthropologists no doubt spend a number of time, and then it can be months, years in studying a different cultural group, oftentimes if they are being guided by this Western scientific ontology, chances are there that they might still missed out certain things, and those things in a way can lead to inadequate levels of contextualizations. Now, one cannot really rule out this privileging of natural laws, or maybe the kind of biasness which normally is being shown by the visitor or the observer on the observed or the host communities. Now, therefore, a patterned order or a universals in this classification in a way tends to obscure certain facts or truths which are embedded in that context. So now, without any one type of this environment, so considerable cultural variation which has to be recognized. So, one needs to recognize that under one environmental setting or one type of environment, there are n numbers of sort of cultural variations. The kind of understanding or maybe the kind of name which is being given to a particular plant might also denote something else. So, it is important to look at the kind of metaphors, the textual language which is being used, as rightly pointed out by Wittgenstein. Now, therefore, one needs to have a closer observation, that is to to the practice in which humans engage with the environment, that is the relationship which they share. Therefore, one needs to have a closer examination rather than simply engaging from a positivist pursuit of these cognitive models, mainly of the taxonomic representations. If we happens to do so, that is by pursuing from a positivist, if not a Western science orientation, we may tends to lead the way into an expanded approach to a more of cultural ecology and a reversal to the long running neglect of ethnobiology by the mainstream anthropologist. Now, this is what Alliance has argued, and therefore, one needs to have a closer attention rather than simply engaging in these ideas of positivist notions of understanding, which otherwise may lead to different kinds of the neglect of these details of ethnobiology. Now, what could perhaps be the alternative of these epistemologies, not necessarily which is guided by the Western positivists or the Western epistemology? Now, what is the, because it is important at this point for us to locate the epistemologies of the native people or the local knowledge. Now, Weeding has made an extensive study among the Solomon Islands, as I pointed out, among the Marovo Lagoon, which is located in the New Georgia area in the Western Province. Now, this place is again an ecologically diverse environment, and people are more or less relying on their daily engagement with the sea environment. That is, they are more or less dependent for their subsistence on this environment. People in a way tends to relate more to the environment of sea, that is the coral reef and also the rainforest, in which they depend for the material and spiritual sustenance. Now, when we talk about the material, we are in a way trying to again see the dichotomy of nature and culture, but over here it is something different, because it tends to look at how they are dependent on this environment, not just for their material aspect, but also for their spiritual sustenance. Now, in this Marovo Lagoon, they are more or less being inhabited by around like 10,000 in population, and mostly their household productions are primarily centered on shifting cultivation or Sweden agriculture of root crops. Mainly they plant these sweet potatoes, and also they engage in collecting these coral reef and lagoon fishing, and every small amount of different variation in terms of the cash pursuit, that is in terms of engaging in different kinds of trading and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at this the Marovo Lagoon, now it is important to again contextualize from the ontological premises that the organism relationship with these non-living components of the environment is again subsumed in the concept of in the local term known as power, which is to be seen as the relationship of this land, sea and the territory. So, this in a way does not constitute a distinct realm or territory of nature or natural environment separate from cultural human society. Rather, there is this sort of interrelationship or the kind of relations which they share is to be seen in relationship with something else. Now, for instance, the reef, sea and forest and the living things therein are not viewed by the Marovo peoples as an environment of neutral objects, or maybe seen from the ontology of maybe natural laws or something else. Now, as I had in the beginning, in the introduction, pointed out that there is of course these ideas of this violent theme dimensions which is operationalized among the Marovo people, but in a different way. This concept again is a matter of degree and function, which is seen to be sort of in relationship rather than binary oppositions, that is a dualism or something which is a radical distinction is made, but rather it is seen in terms of an analogic code, that is they are related rather than contrasted, and also they do not constitute an equivalent to a nature culture dichotomy. Now, which we had also in the previous lectures talks about where Stratton again looks into the Cree peoples, in the New Guinea highland, how this sort of relationship is operationalized. Now, according to this Marovo's epistemology, it sort of illuminates some kind of a fundamental processual and hypothesizing attributes, that is their beliefs and knowledge with regard to the environment, because it is in a way interesting to see how this sort of knowledge developed, or in a way it is being inherited. Now, this notion of understanding, or in this notion of this construction again is validated, transmitted, and it is more of a practical knowledge, that is about the environment, which again pose a number of challenges for the anthropologists to make sense or to make an analysis. Forget about the kind of jargons, metaphors which is embedded among the locals when they sort of tries to relate with any kind of. Now, if one has to engage in this the construction, validation, transmission, so on and so forth, it will be sometime impracticable for any rational explanation for any anthropologist. Now, for instance, the Marovo people do not simply act in the environment from a dichotomy between their culture and nature, as if they are engaged in exploitation by them through means afforded by that culture, that is something again which is guiding their ontological precepts. So, they tend to make sense of sort of the kind of relations between them. So, any kind of practices, any kind of act is not to be seen as something as a mere act to satisfy one's individual need, but also in relation to other relations which exist in that environment. Now, therefore, nature cannot be simply seen as an analytical category or a separate entity, but this might be something which is prevalent in the Western notions of understanding, because we tend to sort of engage in the bringing a particular analytical category, but which is not the case among the Marovo people. If you take for example, nature as a subject, they behave rather analytically in their encounters with the environment but from a position of a practical knowledge. Now, therefore, this sort of a continuous or processual understanding is something which is constructed over time by validating, and also it is being transmitted, because those are more or less based on a practical knowledge rather than something which is supposedly learned from an objective point of view. Now, in this processual hypothesizing epistemology that also perhaps prevails in among the Maravos, there are again several successive states which apply to the acquisition and validation of knowledge, which they call inate. Now, from hearing about something, and a state of knowing is obtained. Now, therefore, it is more or less being guided by the trial and error kind of practices, or rather it is a practical knowledge. Now, therefore, they normally engage in the validation of knowledge, that is not simply based on hearing, but also it is about obtaining that particular knowledge. Now, normally people are tend to be guided by this previous and the subsequent knowledge, as well as the social context of knowledge transmission determines whether or not this knowing entails believing. So, even when these knowledge are something which is being passed on from the previous generations or their ancestors, they in a way validate all this understanding by practically doing it. Now, which in a way is they enter this engage with sort of a repeated verifying instances of seeing for oneself. That is, they in a way testify and validate, and through this validation they tends to transform it into trusting, which in a way is literally to be convinced of efficacy and the state of being wise. Now, another example from this environment is that the human presence in a potentially dangerous environment may serve to illustrate these rational epistemological processes and mutualist ontological premises. Now, therefore, it is sort of a knowledge which is being in transmission, and secondly, which again entails some kind of believing, and literally which in a way is imbued with a truth, and through this it is being verified, and after that trust is being established. So, it is something a knowledge which is not just being produced overnight, but it is processual in nature. So, it is rather an ongoing process. So, therefore, in a way the Marovo people's epistemological knowledge is a process and which is mutualist in nature. Now, for instance, I'll cite an example which is being given by Witting, wherein the people are normally also being killed by the sharks, the man-eating sharks, and when one look closely, it would be rather pertinent to ask a question: if the Marovo people are in a way pretty much sharing that kind of close relationship with the environment, why is it that that sort of killing takes place, or the sharks in a way engage in killing those people? Now, even within them, there are people who are subscribing to these what we call as this totemic relationship, that is which they sort of share some kind of affinity with the sharks, that is solely those who eat man. Now, this sort of practices of the shark totemism is again being limited to only a number of people who are localized, that is the Butu of the Marovo. That is, through these practices of this totemic or shark totemism, they also in their social life they engage in sort of entailing a prohibition against harming, provoking, killing. Most of all, eating sharks is only associated with practiced by only a limited number. Now, again, if you look at this, the attacks of sharks on the people, the sharks tend mainly attack people from the non-totemist group again, or mostly who are the land-oriented groups, who are mostly practicing those shifting cultivations, whose primarily engagement is in the land and not in the environment of sea, is regarded by these Marovo's fishermen as a validation of their belief that ancestrally imposed respect shown to shark will in return give protection from attacks in the present. Now, this sort of shark totemism, which is being culturally practiced by these people, they are being guided by that trust that if they engage in a certain kind of taboos, that is not entailing like harming and provoking or even killing, the shark is not going to harm them. So, this sort of trust is being established and is also being proven true, because it is validated. Now, therefore, as they sort of this ancestral belief is in a way being operationalized, or happens to be sort of being proven truth in the epistemology of these Marovo people. Now, therefore, it is pretty much evident that only some section of people like who are engaged in this shark totemism is being spared by the shark, because they tend to see the shark as not something as a killer, but rather as seen as who will in return give a protection from the attacks of other entities. Now, therefore, these sort of mutual relations, which in a way is sort of operationalized. Now, from an ethic understanding, or maybe from an objectivist analysis of these practices, again, one might simply give an observation by saying that maybe the situation compelled someone to be killed or by this shark, but which again is not true, because only in few instances wherein those communities who don't really subscribe to the shark totemist or totemism are being killed, or maybe the land-oriented groups. But those who practices this ancestrally imposed respect, which in a way is being practices by some group, are being spared and then not harmed by this shark. Now, this such kind of ancestrally derived belief in the efficacy of shark totemism and believing in the idea becomes sort of convinced and elevates it to the level of trusting. Now, this sort of trust, the mutual trust between the animal, the human and the shark, in a way is something again which is normally the belief which is being handed down from the past generations. Therefore, such mutualist ideas about the relationship between people and the surrounding environment of sea, land and beyond in a way permeates a great many fields of activity and concern among the Marovo people. Now, in a way, by citing an example of these instances of the sharks sometime engaging in killing the people and sparing people who practice this shark totemism, we can in a way say that this Marovo's people's relationship with the environment also involve some kind of manipulations that is through often standardized or widely known acts of interventions. That should what Evans Pritchard also, when he talk about the Azande's communities, that this kind of epistemological privilege of science be seen as belonging to a category of magic. Now, therefore, this act in a way this is particularly integral to the Marovo's people's practical engagement with their environment, of their own perception of constraints posed by the environment on human activity. Now, therefore, we cannot really rule out the idea of this taming the wild or tame and wild sort of interrelations also is operationalized. Now, by saying so, we can say that thus Marovo's people's relationship with environment appear to be not necessarily constrained by the laws of nature, and the efficacy of this the practical knowledge to overcome what would in Western scientific terms be considered as natural constraints is verified regularly by these practices. Now, moving on, we can in a way say that these puzzling dualities which exist in the practice of this, say, magic as a technical act, but also which is socially in nature as something which is negative or bad science, which is being classified by Tyler, Fraser, and even Pritchard, again is a rhetorical act, which is said by Malinowski. According to Tambia, made an observation of all this by saying that all this in a way will disappear only when we succeed in embedding magic in a more ample theory of human life, in which the part of this ritual action is seen as an indispensable made for man anywhere and everywhere of relating to and participating in the life of the world. Now, therefore, it is important to not simply make a presumptions or sort of a simplistic conclusion. Rather, we have to in a way be able to be a participatory in these practices. Now, what we have discussed so far is on the kind of relationship between nature, science, magic, and how the epistemologies, which happens to in a way privilege anthropology, at one point of time has evolved, and the kind of stances anthropology also takes has to change. So, the alternative way of an epistemology is again to locate and understand the local knowledge, the kind of how their knowledge has evolved over a period of time. That is the ontological sense of knowing, of how they tends to sort of make sense of the by utilizing certain kind of concepts and ideas. So, therefore, the idea is to come with an alternative that is to innately or make sense of the epistemology of the native people. So, we have cited an example of the witchcraft which is being practiced among the Azandes, and mostly also the kind of totemic practices among the Marovo people in Solomon Island, how this knowledge is processual in nature, and then the ontology which they have developed in a way can be sort of serve a purpose in understanding, trying to look at the relationship between nature, culture, science, magic, so on and so forth. So, for further understanding, you can refer these readings of Evans Pritchard and Whiting's understanding of the Marovo lagoon. Now, with this I will stop this lecture. Thank you.